All right, Con. So here we are with
GRLA Hebrew.
all right, and we on a episode of Cocaine City.
Yes, sir.
And we have a few topics, only a few to talk about, right? Number one topic being the whole Bricc Baby DW Flame Cmac situation with I don't know the politics for real, but DW asked bro for something, right? I guess it's offensive to where he come from. Boom, boom. Cmac call in, he go on a rant. How do you feel about, or like, what are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Well, I mean, number one, I think it's crazy as hell that, you know, the unfortunate, I praise God so much that he was able to rip me out of the streets before it became what it is today, which is this internet. I'm like, the internet is the new streets. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, that really has become what the streets are, right? So much so that in a situation where, you know, somebody that's your homeboy do something or something you dislike, and instead of you calling them privately, you addressing them accordingly, instead of any of that, you take to the internet and talk about it on the internet, right? So you calling in from a federal detention center and you going out of your way to down talk somebody who ain't done nothing but support you, uplift you, rock with you, be there for you even before your popularity on the internet came. We talking about, you know, held you down in the county jail when you was in the enemy dorm. So to me, it's insane. And again, I just praise the Most High. He done removed me from all of the foolishness prior to it getting like this. Because I don't know what I would do if one of my homies went on the internet and was talking about me like that and didn't come to me directly. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, handled it accordingly how we supposed to. I don't even know. I don't know what I would do.
Like just taking stuff to the internet, just
right to the net,
like instant,
direct to the net. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's a crazy way to have your response just directly on the net. You don't even have access to the internet, I would assume. Right?
Yeah, you're calling in from number one. You heard what somebody else said. Number one, because if you not have, now he could have a phone in there. I don't know, but if he doesn't have a device in there, then somebody must have told him what happened, right? Now, you're now commentating predicated upon what somebody else told you as opposed to what you know and what you saw with your own eye.
Right.
So that already kind of makes a little bit of what you're saying problematic anyway.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it's just a cold situation. So for people who don't understand the dynamics of the situation, what occurred is, number one, Bricc Baby has his own show now on No Jumper called No Statements, right? Great show. He's, you know, it's in the early formative stages, so he's getting his cash right. So the mainstays of late have been, of course, Bricc, DW Flame, the Blackberry Gordy, and Jayla, who y'all know she was on Bad Girls Club, Baddies East, you know, one of my favorites up off of that Baddies, not Baddies East, Baddies South, my fault. She was on Baddies South, or she on Baddies West, South? I think South. Beautiful, beautiful. One of the few women who I truly feel can pull that bald head off and still be just ice cold, because I really dislike that bald head look. But there are certain women that definitely pull it off, and she for sure is top of that list.
Yeah.
So, you know, and he's been having certain other people. He had what's dude from your city, from St. Louis, 607.
Yeah, 607.
607 was just on there. That was a whole. We can talk about that situation too, matter of fact. Yeah. We can talk about that situation too. I think Sharp was on. So he been having but early on, I think he had his homeboy, I think APZ from Brick Hood. He had on there, and very early into the episode with DW, this is a few episodes ago before the incident happened that's in question, he makes it clear, hey, everybody, let's watch our lingo. Because, you know, he's a neighborhood Crip, he's a Rolling 60. D-Dub is an insane Crip, all right, a gangster, a moving Crip, a Long Beach Crip, and of course, you know, Hussein, he tied in, you know, with us, with the Hoovers. So in understanding those politics, the nature of the lingo that exists within those communities, for people to understand, is inherently disrespectful to the other side, right? inherently, you know, where somebody may just say something as simple as, I'm finna go to the store, you wanna roll with me? Right? D-Dub and us on this side, we don't say that, right? We're liable to respond depending on the level of ignorance. Nigga, I don't roll nowhere. You see what I'm saying? Like, so this is just so people understand, and it's foolish, right? Let's not get that twisted. But it just is what it is. This is the nature of it. When you say, okay, when you're DW Flame and you come up as an insane Crip, and your enemy, your primary enemy is a rolling 20, you're not gonna like nothing with the rolling on it. And then on top of that, even though you in Long Beach, not in LA, you know, on some jail politic, prison politic and stuff like that, you got Hussein, Hoover, and Insane. They go together. Of course, the Hoovers, you know, in LA, you know, based out the land, don't like nothing with rolling on it. So there's this disdain naturally to anything with the rolling on there. So people ain't, I don't roll nowhere. I'm not finna roll a goddamn place. You see what I'm saying? This is how, like, nigga will respond like that to something as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know people who can't say they wear hoodies, you know, because neighborhood. Nigga gonna put something on the end of that for a hoodie. You see what I'm saying? A sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So that's the nature of the lingo. Bricc is well aware of that, of course. And to understand that they all are genuinely messing with each other. And also Bricc has made it clear he's on some, you know, too black, too strong stuff. He is in a process right now. He's really trying to elevate himself, you know, consciously in everything. And not to mention, you know, in business, as a businessman and you know, as a personality, as an entertainer, he's trying to elevate himself. You know, and I know all this, of course, I met him a year ago and sat down and had a great interview with him, you know, and have forged a bond with him since then. And I know what he's on and what he's looking to do with his life and the elevation and getting away from the BS. And I really applaud him for that. So for all that to be said, me knowing that about him and then me seeing him say that, hey, look, for the neighborhoods, nigga, for D-Dub, hey, we know some of our lingo is inherently disrespectful towards one another. Let's do our best to watch that, right? So that's the foundation. That's the part that nobody's talking about, because that was in an early installment of no statements that they made that, hey, look, you know, and again, just to fast forward. So an episode come out and DW Flame is asking for a cigarette. And I really want this whole situation to be a testament to both Bricc Baby and DW Flame. Brothers, leave the cigarettes alone. Can we get rid of can we cut the cancer causing cigarettes out, please? Right? But, you know, on our side, you know, there's a derogatory name that we utilize for the neighborhoods, right? You know, and the evolution of it from its infancy, it was one thing. And then it kind of, you know, evolved and got shorter, abbreviated, if you will. And then that abbreviation was then applied to Newport cigarettes, right? Very popularly, you know, smoked cigarette in the urban community, right? So that derogatory term was tied to Newport cigarettes, right? And you so casual that, you know, I got, you know, so accustomed now. Of course, I never smoked no cigarettes, but so accustomed to hearing that you almost forget that's not what they're called. That's how common that term is used by, you know, those of us on that side of things. With, you know, with that term, it's very common. Now, when you analyze the friendship, the bond that D-Dub and Bricc are forming, the respect, the love that is clearly there. What comes with that bond, with respect, with love, is comfort, right? I think that D-Dub was really comfortable, and that's just how he talks, right? So in how he talks and in his comfort, and maybe also partially due to his inhibitions being lowered to intoxication, he just comfortably said the word that he normally would use to describe cigarettes. You know, Bloods, they like to call them bigarettes. You know, back in the day, they called them bigarettes. Now, Bloods, they say, let me get a big, right? Replacing the B with the C. You know, but of course, we not Bloods. We have another term for it. So, you know, he casually said, and then but he go, ooh, excuse my language. And in that moment, I know what he's thinking in that moment. Ooh, I just let that slip. I just said that. You know, so he immediately, excuse my bad, excuse my language. He immediately recognized he did something wrong and tried to rectify the problem instantly, right? And Bricc, you know, water off a duck's back, right? Feathers were unruffled. He understood whatever because he understands what's going on there. He understands that he didn't mean it maliciously. He understands that that's how niggas talk, you know? And especially when you understand the bond that the Hovers and the Saints had, like, and then, you know, we this thing with Crip Mac, but you know, that's a serious bond. You know, of course, I'm not from LA, but when I first moved to California, as a Hoover already, you know, the first OG to take me really under his wing was an OG from Insane, Big Crazy Crip from Insane. So, and it was just based on, number one, he had been in my hometown and in my hood already. And then like just, it was just automatic. We just locked in and he and I became very close. And that was like, you know, a real big homie to me. You know, but not just that, just especially up in that jail. So, you know, we got a brother that's in my camp, you know, he's from Fine Nine Hoover. And we got a brother who recently joined our camp that's rolling 20s. And you know, when he first was hitting us up, he had, you know, he had in his name that the I crossed out, and that's a disrespect to Insane. Um, you know, and the brother who was dealing with him that's for Fine on Hoover, like really press a line on him, like, hey, change that. You need to go ahead and put that, restore that I back in that name or change your name totally. Yeah, you saw the conversation. We was in Vegas, we was talking about it, right?
Yeah.
You know, we were recapping it and talking over. This had been already happened. Cause we was all together in Vegas doing, you know, teaching on the streets for the Super Bowl and stuff. So, but he like, you know, hey, he really pressed him on it, like, bro, he like, bro, I'm really Hussein for real. Like, I'm tolerating any disrespect to Insane like you disrespecting us. You know what I'm saying? Period. So, you know, there's a real bond there. So, you know, these things, Bricc understand all that, right? And even I remember when they were doing a No Jumper show together, D-Dub, Bricc, because I watch all this stuff. D-Dub, Bricc, and Adam's kind of like, you know, Adam, he's familiarized to a degree with everything, but he's really not. He don't understand the intricacies. So he's wondering like, okay, Bricc and DW, why would you? What's the problem? You know what? Why are people so surprised? You guys are all Crips. Like, why are you surprised that? Why are people surprised that y'all are collaborating? You know, and DW's all the way from Long Beach, so he doesn't directly have an issue with the Rolling 60s, true, but that Hussein tie is so strong that you gonna look at them like you look at a Hoover and vice versa. It's just how it's gonna go. If you listen to Snoop Dogg, somebody asked Snoop Dogg, tell a story, have you ever ran from somebody? I think it was Gillian Wallow asked him that, or it was just Wallow. And he tell a story like, yeah, I seen a nigga from Hoover. I told him I'm from Rolling 20. He just hit me in the head with a bottle. I took off.
Yeah.
Why? Because nigga, for Hoover's in Long Beach, and we push it, we got a philosophy of Hussein, and you say you from anything that's against Insane, well, you against me then. You see what I'm saying? Like that's, you know, and maybe every single Hoover or Insane don't have that philosophy, but a lot of us do. When I say a lot of us do, when I was active in the streets, I had that mentality of I'm gonna run, I'm gonna ride for an Insane like I'm riding for a Hoover, period. That's my mentality. Even when people are this, it's Insanes in Oceanside. When I got to Oceanside, California, I locked in with a lot of them niggas from Insane um, over there. Why? Just off the string. We supposed to go together, right? As far as I was taught, you know, and my older homies back up, even from Washington, was tied in with the Long Beach niggas. You know what I'm saying? So that just go without saying. So Bricc understands those dynamics though, and he's understanding, and he knows that he's trying to elevate, and he knows D-Dub is trying to elevate, and he knows that that was a honest mistake that was not malintent. He didn't mean that maliciously at all. it slipped out. He immediately apologized, and you know, okay, cool. He wasn't tripping off that. And here's what people don't understand. Let me show you this in the Bible, right? A beautiful, beautiful Bible verse. Proverbs 19:11. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. Let me read it in another translation so everybody get it. Sensible people control their temper. They earn respect by overlooking wrongdoings. You're going to earn respect. To me, he earned, and he already had a great deal of respect for me. But that's even more for him to overlook that wrongdoing, him to acknowledge, bro, ain't mean that, right? I'm just gonna wink at that, right? This is in the BBE. A man's good sense makes him slow to wrath, and the overlooking of wrongdoing is his glory. I think that was a glorious thing. So the fact that the brother's being demonized for doing something that's truly glorious and a testimony to his elevation as a person,
Right.
I think that's what we need to look at there. Because it's not like D-Dub said, yeah, nigga, I said that, and nigga. He didn't do that, right? He immediately asked for forgiveness. He immediately recognized the wrongdoing and apologized. What more? And then on top of that, when the cameras stop rolling, right? I said rolling, see? I've been delivered. See, the Bible told me I had to love my neighbors, right? So, I began to understand that and embrace and love my neighbors, man. We don't know what conversation happened when the cameras got turned on, when the cameras got done rolling. We had no idea. So, Bricc could have got at him about it. They could have had to understand. Anything could have happened. We don't know, and it's not necessarily our business. So for everybody to scandalize this and amplify, blow this up is really crazy to me. Is there another point I want to make on that? So for even before we get to Cmac, you just had to understand what happened there, and I thought it was a great thing that happened there. The fact that D-Dub was able to immediately catch himself and apologize, and for Bricc to just not even trip off it, immediately accept the apology and move forward in business and as brothers, right? Point blank period. And I would expect DW to give Bricc the same respect and the same grace if Bricc was to slip up and say something. Cause it's liable to happen, it's casual, but because even me now, as somebody who's been in front of the camera in public, and especially in the context in which I am, which is an instructor of the Bible, a teacher, a spiritual leader, I know I have to be very mindful of the things that come out of my mouth, because thousands of people hear it, and things of that nature. So, everybody, it's other people in this room right now. They know how I talk when the cameras are not rolling. I'm in the comfort. I'm with people I'm very comfortable with, and the type of lingo that I use. Not that I use disrespectful lingo, but I talk how I always came up talking. Right? Go ahead.
And I say I will notice that because like when I was first like getting to know you, it was always on the camera. So I see how you speaking. It's more politically correct, I would say, or just like you just aware of your surroundings, I would say. And then when you get off the camera, it's just regular everyday life. It ain't nothing crazy. But I had noticed that when I first like got around, and I was like, oh, I ain't even know that,
Yeah. You wouldn't even know. You know what I'm saying? So of course, because I don't want nothing to get misconstrued, I'm not here to propagate, glorify, or anything like that. The streets, gang banging, anything like that, because I've of course been delivered from all of that. But like I always say, I'm not actively a gang banger. I ain't went and struck up on the wall, crossed nobody out, put such and such killer on the wall, banged on nobody, like none of that in quite some time. But still, when I'm in a relaxed setting, I'm still going to use certain lingo that's consistent with where I'm from and what I grew up doing. I've been doing this, nigga, since the 90s. You know what I'm saying? I'm not anywhere near new to this, right? So, in understanding that, I understand though the importance of watching what I say when I'm under public scrutiny, when people can see me and hear me, and I'm putting out a message to hundreds and thousands of people. I gotta make sure I'm very careful on what comes out of my mouth. So I don't want anybody to misconstrue anything. You know, people already got a problem. This nigga still be wearing blue and orange. This nigga still wears Astros hats and things like that. And I do that as a representation of where I could say reason I represent being Haitian. Everything I represent, it's all a representation of me and a reflection of me. But also when you see me in this state, the elevation that still can come with that, right? That's what I'm trying to show. So you know, you got to be mindful, and that's something, you know, D-Dub slipped up on it, and maybe you need to cut back on the intoxicants in order not to, you know, have your inhibitions lowered and you to be more aware. You know me, I don't never drink or smoke really in my whole life. I done tried some stuff in my life, don't get it twisted. And then of course we got Passover once a year. I gotta have a drink for that holy day. But outside of that, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any drugs. So it puts me to where I'm always aware. I'm always hyper aware. You know, you had something?
Yeah. Two please there. Sirach chapter 19 verse 6 says, "He that can rule his tongue shall live without strife."
See that, and it's important to be able to rule your tongue, to rule the things that come out of your mouth. That's what's gonna stop the strife. That's what's gonna stop strife. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that brothers definitely got to work on. Right? Go ahead.
It says, "He that can rule his tongue shall live without strife, and he that hates babbling shall have less evil."
He that hates babbling, meaning hate just talking unnecessarily.
Exactly.
Right? You'll have less evil because the things that you say will get you in a lot of trouble in your life. Right? Go ahead.
Jumping down to verse 16, right there, speaking on behalf of DW Flame. Right? It says, "There is one that slips in his speech, but not from his heart."
Not from his heart. I didn't mean that disrespectfully.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that because, nigga, I'm so desensitized to it, I forget that that's a cigarette.
Right.
I forget that that's a Newport.
Yeah.
I don't even know what y'all call them over there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go ahead.
It says, "There is one that slips in his speech, but not from his heart."
That's right.
And who is he that has not offended with his tongue?
And that's the thing, too, where the grace comes in on Bricc Baby's behalf. Who has never not said something that's offensive to somebody on accident? Everybody has done that at some point. And sometimes a lot of us go, as soon as we say it, go, ooh, goddamn.
Right.
I probably shouldn't have just said that right now. I've changed the dynamic of, you know, everything. So you gotta be mindful, you know. And you know, these things are relevant and people want to know, but it's cool because, you know, when I had my interview with Bricc, man, it's so funny, man. Anybody can go watch it. Just watch the first like 5-10 minutes if you ain't seen it already. You know, Bricc is really trying to get to where I'm from. He like, yeah, but I'm saying though, so you was gangbanging though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Flacco put him on to me, so he already went and did the research on me ahead of the interview. And if you start going through my social media, man, you'll notice, man, I really like them Houston Astros, man, a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I remember my homeboy, which Bricc which is a Rollin 60 from New York, from Fort Rockaway, Queens, YRS Bugs. I remember he hit me one day, he said, "Man, bro, you have every flavor of an Astros hat, bro, that that's ever existed." You know what I'm saying? So if somebody don't know already, and they're coming from the gang background, they automatically gonna be like, "Man, he looking like one of them." You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he wants to get to it, but not on no like he's tripping, right? Now I done seen Bricc Baby put, you know, a caption. And, you know, put over heels, that's the section of the 60 he from, and put the K behind the H. I done seen it, right? Now, could I dislike that? Is there a part of me that's like, why you have to do it, man? You could just write over heels, right? But I have to be transparent. When I see my homies post and they whacking O's, do I feel the same way? There's not that little bit of me that's going, you ain't have to do that. You see what I'm saying? I got to be honest about that. And I only say that to say, this is just how we express ourselves. This is just how we talk. This is just the dynamic of the politics, right? So I can't, even if a little me goes, I don't really care. I don't hold that against him. You know, but now when we transition into this individual CRIP Mac, Cmac, you know, and he got that tattoo on his head. And what people don't understand is, you know, a lot of politics happened to DW Flame over doing a song with him because of the relationship that we have with them.
So CRIP Mac did a song with DW Flame?
Yeah, so they paid DW Flame for a feature.
Okay.
Right.
But CRIP called in about
that.
About Bricc Baby not saying nothing to DW Flame about saying it.
Exactly. Mind
So
you,
like, what?
Mind you, DW Flame went through real life politics behind doing a song with you.
Yeah.
Right? Only because you have Hoover Killer tattooed on your forehead. So if anything, you should be the most understanding person in that situation, because you, through offering him money and in a vulnerable position for him where he got to feed his kids and he wasn't in the position at that moment to turn down the money you were going to give him for a feature, went and did that feature with you and went through real life problems with his set over that. Had niggas politicking on him from his set, had the homies tripping with him, right? Them posts are still up on the LA Hood medias and things of that nature. People can go see the comments, right? Niggas was not feeling that at all, right? And why? It's not he went and did niggas ain't, maybe some people may be tripping on Bricc. I don't see him collaborating with Bricc. I don't really see the outrage though. But the whole point is, it's not that you collaborating with somebody from neighborhood. It's about you collaborating with somebody that got Hoover Killer tattooed on his forehead. And you know the dynamics in the relationship. You know, I remember he said it because he did an interview with T-Rail when T-Rail was still a No Jumper. And he said, bro, I fuck with the Hoovers, bro. I don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? When that time come, it's Hussein. That's what it is. So he went through real life politics behind that. And again, he admits, hey, I was in a vulnerable place. I wasn't in the position to turn down that feature money. And they had it. So if anything, Cmac really is the last person who should be vocal about this. He's the last person that should be vocal about this. But here he is, you know, vocal about this, tripping about this. Oh, nigga, that's some Custer shit. Oh, you know, whatever he said. You know, but, you know, I was talking to somebody earlier, and I'm going to just be real. Like, let me say this. Let me backtrack before we go into that. There was just recently an incident that happened where I'm watching No Jumper, the podcast, or the No Jumper show, and Adam is talking about the homie Poke walking out on him. Now, why did Poke walk out on the interview with Adam? Because Adam asked him how he felt about how desensitized the world has become to the derogatory term for us through Cmac being a captivating, polarizing entertainment figure on the internet, right? He has popularized disrespecting us. So Adam is asking CH Poke how he feel about that. And, you know, Poke took so much offense to it that he got up and walked out the interview. So Adam is bringing that back up to Bricc and to DW. And, you know, Bricc say something about the homie Poke that's untrue. And I'm watching it and I'm going, oh man, Bricc, why'd you say that? Right? So he was making allegations, told the homie that, you know, he, you know, basically did a PC move in the county jail because he was afraid of, you know, some neighborhoods. And I know enough about Poke to know immediately when I heard that was untrue, right? Without knowing the intricacies of the situation, without knowing Poke on a personal level, I knew that wasn't true, right? So what did Bricc Baby do in response to that? He went on Instagram and issued an apology to a Hoover, an active Hoover who's rapping, but you know, still still banging, you know, in his music for sure, I'll say. And, you know, goes out of his way to say, hey, my bad, bro. You know, I got something misconstrued. That wasn't you who did that, right? So he even did that. So that was honorable and respectable for him to go out of his way to make sure to make a post and clarify that, hey, my bad to this individual. So, you know, again, that's clearly a display of his elevation, you know, as a person, for sure. And you know, as somebody on media and somebody who has integrity for the things that they say and the platform that they have, it's not taken for granted the magnitude of him being a voice on that platform. So, you know, but going back to Cmac, So for Crip Mac to come and, you know, say anything derogatory towards Bricc in this situation is crazy. And again, if it's a problem, if a DP or any politics need to come behind that, that's Rolling 60 business at the end of the day. You know, Bricc ain't from 5'5", 5'7", nothing of international pimp gang. He ain't from nothing about the 50s, right? So granted that word phrase is disrespect to the whole neighborhood card, let's not get it twisted. But if a DP is in order, man, or any politics, they really need to come from the 60s, right? So that just was crazy. And then for the person, again, Bricc has been nothing but supportive, respectful, and there for Cmac as long as we've known. And you know, now Brick's hand was forced to tell the truth about Cmac today. The truth that we all knew, but just wasn't being said. Right? Let's just take a listen real quick, matter of fact.
Mac. I know the nigga that asked me, hey, shitty, you want me to leave the door, man? The brims act like they don't want me to be here. You got whooped by the smallest brim in the dorm. He knocked you out. I let you lie on the shit. Nigga, Tiny E called in tripping because he dropped you, knocked you out. You got knocked out by Nutty. You got knocked out by Bad News. Nigga, you got knocked out by YC from A-Tray. Nigga, on the dead homies. And you was trying to roll it up. I'm the only reason why you stayed in the dorm, my boy. I know your big buster ass is not talking, you soft ass nigga. On the dead homies, a nigga played like he was from Hoover, came up in the shop on you, you was spooked, bro. Like, man, I know you not talking, gang. On the dead homies, nigga, you was the biggest bitch around here, nigga, in the county, whatever. Nigga, we be letting you play like you tough, bro. That's an act, bro. You retarded. Like the homies let you go up, cuz, nigga, you really is a buster. You can't tell no nigga that was in the dorm with you, nigga. Oh, 6-0, and Riddler gonna vouch for it. Any nigga that I call right now gonna vouch for it. And I just looked out for your buster ass, cuz. Enjoy that little 3-4 bands I sent you, bro. Don't call me no more, cuz. Then I'll be 6-0 crib, nigga. You're a buster. You just let the Southsiders press you to talk about China, man. Let's be real, cuz. I'm 6-0. The nigga apologized to me before the clip came even in.
It's crazy, but again, he's saying what we all already know is going on, which is that Crip Mac is being allowed by the neighborhoods to do what he's doing. And, you know, he has different mental issues. And, you know, niggas is just letting him get his shit off. I remember, man, when I was young, I was coming up and, you know, I got an older homegirl, man, that really is very influential in my life as a gangster, right? From, you know, young, all her older brothers and her whole family is really just, you know, when the niggas came from South Central and started putting niggas on in my hometown, like that family is a major part. It's a very large family. So she was always on me. She always had me fighting everything, right? And you know, I remember I told her, how old was I probably? Maybe like 15, 16. You know, my little brother was coming up now, you know, put him on, stuff like that. And you know, I was like, man, that nigga be talking tough, man, and I just don't like it because I don't feel like he really like that. I was saying that about my little brother. Roughly paraphrase, you know, this really like that as a new age terminology. But, you know, that's essentially what I was expressing to her. And she told me, man, she was like, man, you just gotta let little niggas think they hard sometimes. Like, we used to let you do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a little ass kid. I did think I was hard as fuck when I was little. I didn't stop thinking I was the hardest nigga in the world until I got shot. That's when I stopped thinking like that. That's when I realized that mentality was problematic. And you know, you can be as hard as you want to be, but you also have to be realistic. So she like, you know, you just gotta let little niggas think they hard sometimes, man. It's all right. You know what I mean? Like she just waved it off like that. And that's like a situation with Crip Mac. You know what I'm saying? With Crip Mac, like to me, as silly as you is, it's like, you know, Melk 74 has talked about this, Jap 5 has talked about this. Like, if you was the nigga over there, we would have knew about you, right? Um, Niggas don't know about you. So all the extras that you are constantly propagating, nah. niggas ain't going for it, right? But niggas are allowing you to do that, and you've created a very popular persona, you know, and due to, you know, how you've been embraced by the 5-5s, you know, you're very zealous about representing the 55th Street and the neighborhoods and things like that. So, you know, niggas have allowed you essentially to be a mascot, right? That doesn't make you real hard or all these various things. It doesn't make you that. You know, and a lot of people think them face tats. I know niggas with face tats, man. And it's a lot of niggas with certain face tats in that Southern California area that are very nervous about, and I don't even mean to say, I'm not even saying cautious. They regret getting these face tattoos and because of how it stops their movements, because of how it makes them vulnerable. You know, and I'm not talking even, I know that's the truth for Crip Mac though. And it should be for damn near anybody that's going to getting, especially an eye buster to that extent on your forehead. But of course he does that out of trauma. You know, when you ask him about it, he always said nigga tiny hard head FIP. So that's he got that as a result of the trauma and the pain that was caused to him through the, you know, murder of Tiny Hardhead from 40s. So, you know, and I remember when Cmac did this DP, I did a whole Bible lesson on Crip Mac and every aspect of him. So I understand what's going on with Crip Mac. I definitely, though I've certainly laughed and found a lot of his stuff entertaining. I'm not gonna act as if I don't have a problem with that shit on his forehead. I'm not gonna act like that, at all. You know, and one of the reasons that type of offense comes is because, you know, like, bro, like, you're not even like that to have something like that on your forehead. You know, that's one way for it to get rejected. Then just come on, right? So, you know what, the neighborhoods have essentially let you be a mascot, and they're propping your persona up online, and it serves the neighborhoods because it popularizes the neighborhoods. It does. So that's what's going on here. So that's now been exposed. That nigga, yeah, we've only been letting you do this. I've been letting you do this. I've been sitting next to you, letting you act hard because, you know, your mental capacity isn't that of the average person, let's say. And, you know, whatever. It's really not that big of a deal. But the reality is, nigga, the Brims beat you up, nigga, the Trey Gangsters beat you up. You know, of course, everybody know about Jack 5 beating on you. You admit to diligence for 7-4 beating on you. And you know, word on the street is, when you checked into the county jail that last time, nigga Porky and Tiny G thing was waiting for your fade, and you hit the button and said you had COVID. To duck them fades. That's the reality, right? There's you on the internet acting hard, and then there's the truth, right? Even like he talked about the incident he was downtown LA, and it was two niggas from Grape Street, and you know Grape is another set that we locked in with. And he seen him and it was like, nigga, yeah, for five, it was over. And that nigga froze. He like, you see him, he freeze. He on video, he freeze. Anybody can go look at this. Him with China Mac. And then like, nah, we play from Grape. Right? So it's clear he's not the person that, you know, he doesn't live up to his persona, you know, online at all. And for him to come out and again, like, niggas got to stop playing like Bricc ain't Bricc. You know what I'm saying? People can really dislike the shitty name based off of the actions of his little homie, baby shitty Eric Holder, you know, and the unfortunate demise of Nipsey Hussle. People can act like they dislike it, but that name shitty, it come from something. It's got a reputation that is a hell of a lineage. And you know, that man that did plenty of time in and out of jail. And that accompanies accolades. And I heard about him way before this no jumper shit. I probably heard about him 10 plus years ago. Feel me? You know, Bricc I'm talking about, but not as Bricc. Bricc Baby is a new persona. I heard about Shitty over 10 years ago, him specifically. So in understanding that, for him to play with him like that, that's just, it's really insane to me. It's crazy. It's simple. DW slipped up. He immediately apologized, and Bricc forgave him. We don't know if there was an additional conversation, what it is, but I don't think it should be blown to this proportion. I think right now what, you know, and a message I had to Bricc Baby is, you know, like it says in the book of Sirach, Ecclesiastes, the 2nd chapter, you know, when you turn yourself to the Lord, essentially prepare for temptation. When you're going through a stage of elevation where you're kind of turning away and trying to break away from the negativity and the BS and the destructive behavior of a lot of our community, you got to be ready for temptation. That's something that I faced a lot of when I first, because niggas know I first learned about being a Hebrew Israelite in 2008, August 3rd, 2008. August 3rd, I was doing something on August 3rd before I found out I was a Hebrew Israelite outside, you know, celebrating, commemorating. So, you know, and then it was a journey of 2.5 years before I even, you know, elevated into teaching. And then after 6 months of teaching, I kind of fall back off into some street stuff for a while till I go to jail, get out of jail, and then, you know, really get on the right path. That's 2013. So that was damn near 5 years it took me to really fully get on the right track. That's because the temptation came, and what was my main temptation? The streets, banging, etc. It's good? Yeah. Streets, banging, etc. Those were my main temptations. So I've been seeing a lot of that since I met Bricc, and, you know, it could have been going on before, but I've been very conscious to what's going on with him, of course, since becoming acquainted with him and forging that brotherhood with him. So since I met him, I've seen the different adversity that he's come. You know, people are constantly trying to drag that man down, and they're acting as if he's not currently fighting a legal case. Do you think that him crashing out in that moment would have been conducive for the current legal battles that he's facing? That people don't even understand the depths and dynamics to, right? You know, he called me, like right after he went to jail, like he got out, you know, and he told me like, man, bro, when I went up in there, I was thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about, bro, I want to just get away from the bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, and I praise the Lord that he's in that mentality. You feel me? So, but when you're going through that elevation stage, it's going to be stuff trying to bring you down. And, you know, it's clear Cmac is trying to do that, but Cmac, where has that gotten you? You constantly in and out of jail. Now you're in the feds for the pistol cases you've been catching on the state level. Now you in the feds, and, you know, best of luck with that situation, brother, because the feds ain't nothing to play with. And now they saying that Bricc dealing with the feds, which I don't know. That's what WACK is saying. And I was watching the Adam and WACK show earlier, and it seemingly Adam confirmed that. I don't know. But all I know is, man, that's nothing to play with. That's nothing light. And there's nothing to crash out for and to jeopardize over somebody slipping up and then coming with that immediate apology when you're on camera. That's crazy.
And now, did you want to speak on the 607 up?
Yeah, we can talk about 607 up.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a situation, he was like, it's Bricc Baby podcast, or is it Bricc Baby and DW Flame?
It's Bricc Baby podcast. He's brought DW as a co-host.
Okay, cool. So him and his co-host, DW Flame, they had a guest on there named 607 Up from St. Louis, right?
You know about him, right?
Yeah, I know about him. He art development, like he said. He dropped a lot of like city mixtapes, and he got a lot of hot up and coming artists.
About the LUPE.
Yeah, about the LUPE. You know what I'm saying? One of them, he a prominent dude. His name Lil Kill. He be getting him on his stuff.
Okay.
He got songs like Trippie Redd.
Okay.
He got a son named King B. He get a lot of views and stuff like that. But they had a situation where, cause you know, y'all demeanor is different than our demeanor. You know what I'm saying? And people in St. Louis, they're not really fond on or knowing what's going on outside of the city for real. So when he get to talking to him, he was like, his excuse was, or it may not be his excuse, he may be genuine with it. He was saying like, all right, DW Flame come off a little aggressive, so he like, damn, I'm just responding to how you coming off to me.
Yeah, I'm matching energy.
Yeah, so he on some matching energy stuff, but the whole time, he wasn't even really doing that. He was just telling him like, pop your shit. We don't, people say that, but we don't say that for real. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so y'all in St. Louis, y'all don't use that term.
Pop your shit. But when y'all say it's a common thing, he's popping it, pop your shit, shit like that. So y'all told him to pop your shit, he probably coming off like, nigga, what you mean? I'm popping my shit like, nigga, why I'm on the show if y'all don't know who I am? That's how he was coming. He's coming off real just arrogant, I say.
Yeah, no, he was because, again, he said he helped break Sexy Red, who's arguably the biggest artist and one of the biggest artists in the world right now. Or at least in America, in the urban genre. So, you know, that's an accolade. Let's not get that twisted.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. When he come on there, I don't know who in the hell that is.
Yeah.
He don't look familiar. He don't sound familiar.
Yeah, he gotta understand that he's on a whole different side of the country right now.
Exactly.
He's in a whole different region, algorithm, everything. So when you going over there, man, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, let it be known to what you do. Like let them know who you are, what you represent, and what you stand for. So you can get more people to know who you is and rep you now. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just trying to have contention and strife for real.
Yeah.
It was uncalled for. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
But DW Flame, he got a little roused up though.
Yeah.
Right? But then he kind of realized like, all right, I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? Let me calm down. I understand what's going on. It ain't that deep. We two black men, it ain't that this.
Yeah, we ain't gotta get into the arrogance. Yeah. There's another one he's trying to elevate.
Yeah.
He's trying to elevate. Niggas don't want to let him elevate, but there are certain demeanors we got, man. You know, I remember I had an incident from a brother, I forget his name. He was rapping, I think he had a record deal, but you know, this was in Oceanside, California. He used to work at the 7-Eleven in the turf, so you know, I established a turf in Vista, California. You know, on Melrose Drive, and in Melrose and Olive, he was at the 7-Eleven. He was working at 7-Eleven, and my little homie was fucking with him. My little homie Scarface was fucking with him. And if Scarface, when you see this, you'll type in the comments what his name, because I forget his name, but I remember he's from a gang about an Oceanside called Eastside Crook Mob Gangster CRIP. And he pulled up in the turf, and I had boom, the little homie was talking to him. He was sitting in the car, and the little homie was talking to him, boom, so I'm in the apartments, and I had I walked up on the car. Now, at that time, me and my best friend was off of this YouTube series called Unforgivable. If anybody's seen it, man, it's your boy out here in these woods. And the dude from the Unforgivable skits on YouTube, he used to always say, "What's the deal?" Like he used to always so we got in the habit of saying, "What's the deal?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I say that.
Yeah, so when I press up on the car, I'm not tripping at all. I know who that is. We're not very well acquainted, but I know who that is. I see him up in the 7-Eleven. We always in the store in the set. And then, you know, I know my little homeboy messed with him, and he's rapping too. So, and he got a deal, which is like nobody in that area was getting a record deal, like a major deal from what I heard. I think he had a deal with like RCA or Epic or something. And I'm like, "What's the deal?" And he looked at me like, "What's the deal?" And I'm like, "Shit, what's the deal?" So he got out the car like, "Nigga, hold on." like what you mean? And my little homie looking like, "Hold on, nah, like it ain't like that. I'm saying, what's up, you know?" But it can get volatile that quick, especially when you have people who speak and express themselves and carry themselves different. And you know, there are certain areas that are very aggressive. I would say the most aggressive place I ever seen in my life though, is New York City. New York City is the most aggressive place I've ever seen. Like the first time I landed in New York and I went to get a cab to go where I was going. This is in 2017 probably. I'm talking about it's a brother who's running. So there's like a cab line. You got the cabs and you got somebody running it like the. So it's a young brother that's running it. He probably like Trinidadian or something. And he like, "I got you. I got come on, like I'm trying to get a cab." He like, "I got you." Like he's basically having me cut the line.
Yeah. I'm
not even realizing really what's going on at first. So he go tell the Arab nigga or the East Indian nigga like, "Boom, yeah, get the." So the East Indian like, "Nah, he ain't next." I'm talking about the way the brother who was trying to get me to cut the line spazzed so hard. I was like, I was definitely taken aback. So New York is the most aggressive place I ever seen. But when I think about aggressive, shit, California, Chicago, New York, those are the most aggressive places where the people are just aggressive.
Yeah.
Right? And what's cold is there's other areas of the city that's or the country that's violent, murders, all that, but the just aggression of the people, it doesn't exist. Because you from St. Louis.
Right.
St. Louis is a very violent place.
Yeah.
Top murder, all those various things. But are the people just walking around aggressive all the time?
Everybody too cool.
Everybody just too cool. You see what I'm saying?
Like, everybody too cool. We don't like doing certain stuff because it's going to make you look goofy for real.
Yeah.
Niggas just too cool for sure.
California, where I come from, it's not like that. It's very, very aggressive. So I had that whole situation with him over just him not being familiar with that term and that term meaning something to him that it wasn't meaning when I said it, right? Which is what's the deal. He thought I was tripping. After that, me and him got real cool. But that was, you know, that sometimes that has to happen for people to get cool, right? But I say all that to say 607, how he came, I feel how DW reacted totally, and then you don't even know who you're talking to. You know, he's really one of them members, you know, from about the Insanes, you know, from about the Babies, and specifically, you know, Fifth Street. So, you know, they call him Hot Boy number 5. Hot. Somebody, you can't have a name, or you don't get the name Hot Boy. You don't get to be of the lineage of Hot Boy if you're not a hot head. Typically, that's what's associated, right? So he was able to calm himself even though he was intoxicated and he was definitely taken aback by the way in which dude was handling it. But like the words that bro was using, you got to be careful. And that goes back to the scripture bro read about ruling your tongue. You got to be able to rule your tongue, man. You got to understand when you go into new environments, you're around new people, you have to watch what you say. Because you don't know how it's going to rub people and you don't have that familiarity. You might not, again, what the grace that Bricc gave DW in that instance, he might not have gave to somebody who he didn't know, who he didn't have the familiarity with, who was an Insane or a Hoover or an A-Tray gangster who just came around. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, 607 Unc almost found himself in a world of hurt because he didn't, number one, use his words wisely and didn't really consider the situation that he brought himself in. He really should have just, okay, pop your shit. Like, if he didn't understand what that meant, it's simple.
Thanks.
What do you mean? Pop my shit? What you mean pop my shit? I mean, hey, tell us what you do. Niggas know what I do. No, I mean, Bricc might know what you do. We don't know what you do. But again, even if DW knew what you do, you're on a podcast. Thousands of people are being exposed to you. So tell them what you do, right? I was just in Miami. We got this clip. This happens to me all the time, for real. People look at me. Yo, you a rapper? You rap? What are you, a rapper? And it happened in Miami when we was in Memphis. The girl in Memphis in the club in Memphis looked at me and just said, looked at me up and down and said, you a rapper? No, I'm a man of God. No, I teach the Bible, right? But how do they know that? They don't know it because they don't know who I am. They're just taking a look at me and they're making an analysis of me and thinking, okay, how he's dressed, you know, if I'm iced out, anything like that, like, okay, this is a look consistent with a rap artist, right? And then I hit them with, oh no, I teach the Bible. And then they're really like, oh damn, for real? Like, that's very intriguing to people, right? Some people try to use that as a knock to me. Oh, you look like a rapper. I know, stupid. Our people are following rappers. I should look like the people in which our people are interested in order to get them interested in something else. Not look like something they're uninterested in. That's counterproductivity anyway. You know, so where was I at? Dude, so yeah, so we don't know who you are, brother 607. Please tell us, the general public, the people watching, please tell us what you do so we can be familiar. So now once I hear what you do and go, oh, you broke Sexy Red? You was a part of that? Now I'm interested because I know damn well that she was broke in such an expert way that it's captivated the whole world and she's on a run since May. She's been on a run since about May of last year. She's coming up on a 365-day run without ceasing, without diminishing her relevance at all. Right? You said what?
Drake album.
She's on Drake album. It got her on Drake album. It got her a very successful tour. So now you saying that, now I'm interested in who you are. Before that, I'm like, bro, who is this nigga? frankly. You see what I'm saying? So you let us know, hey, I do artist development, man. You know, I was a part of the success of Sexy Red, who's been out. Sexy Red been out a long time. I didn't know that. I saw her on the damn thing with FBG Duck and still didn't put it together when she came out. Oh, that was the girl that was in the thing with the vlog with Duck, because I didn't become a fan of Duck after he died. I've been a fan of Duck since 2012, right? So I followed his career closely. And everybody from 63rd and, you know, from JoJo World and things of that nature, I follow all of them very closely. I'm not even realizing that's her. And I remember Kat, she, you know, the calls to my other podcast, she sent me Pound Town and we were like laughing and disgusted by it.
Yeah.
Right? I remember Kat saying people will do anything for attention. She said that. But it's okay because when I first heard 50 Cent, I first heard Wangster.
Right.
I heard it on Power 106 for 10 seconds and turned it off. I said, what the fuck is this? 50 Cent is now one of my favorite artists of all time, and we understand his success. But I'm not just talking about the success part, I'm talking about how much I like 50 Cent after that, right? Because I heard it before it really broke. That's when Philly Phil used to be coming with real exclusives on Power 106 and that you weren't hearing elsewhere. The same thing with Future. I didn't like Future at first. And then I remember riding from LA to Dago. That's when Deacon had that CL600. And that Magic was cool. I started liking that Magic. But when he played Same Damn Time, that's when I became a Future fan and been an avid Future fan ever since that point. But when I first heard him, I ain't like him. When I first heard Pound Town, I'm like, man, bro, she talking about what color her asshole is. Like, that's wild to me. But I remember I was going to take the kids to school one day. I hop in the car in the morning, 7 in the morning. And when I keep my radio tuned to out here in Atlanta, the Streets 945. Usually I'm on Bluetooth, but before my Bluetooth connect, Streets 945 will be on. So boom, they're playing it on Streets 945. And that bass is hitting so hard in my car, I had to stop hating on that record. And I'm just somebody who looks at things from, number one, a business perspective and also just the sonic perspective without judging the message or the individual or anything like that. Before I even get into that, just as a connoisseur of music, as a fan of music, and also as somebody who's a business person, I had to understand that, okay, this is what's happening right now. She's coming, she's here, and this is hard. And I go to the club, and this is banging in the club. Nigga, then you told me. So then you told me, hey, it's a song get ready to come called Ski. He told me that. Then Ski came and I said, ooh, this is harder than that Pound Town. Ski to me is inspirational. We went to watch the Super Bowl at the club the other day, and the moment it was over, they played Ski. And it was so perfect for the moment. It was perfect. Sis can't miss. Then she got, the other songs, and she got the Drake feature, and she just teeing up. And I can't hate on it. She got the wave right now, and she hasn't let it go. Right? So if you were a part of that, well, now I'm interested in what you have to say. So you should have said that from jump, because that certainly qualifies you to the audience.
You see? And now you got a Big Sad 1900. That's why I'm hearing he has snitching allegations or snitching rumors. What's that all about?
It's sad.
Where is he from?
Big Sad is from West LA.
West LA?
From Playboy Gangster CRIP.
Okay, gotcha.
So, shout out. It's some Playboys up in this camp, right? Shout out to the Playboys. Shout out to the whole West LA. So a lot of this played out on No Jumper as well. WACK talked about it on his show with Adam.
Right.
Then on the No Jumper show, DW and Bricc talked about it with Adam, and they brought Big Sad up there. And then they talked about it on their show note statements afterwards because more information had came out. You know, I first and foremost want to say I am a huge fan of Big Sad 1900 and his music, right? Just hold on. I want people to see this. They understand, because I don't listen to gospel music, all right, when I'm riding around. Okay. So y'all can see, of course, the new Kanye Ty Dolla $ign album drop. So that's at the top. I got this new stuff from Avenue Champ, P4K, the Avenue Champ, which is we did a round table. Rucci from Inglewood, MAFTC out of Chicago that's heating up, right? Boom. This boss man D-Lo is going crazy right now, right? So I got him up in there. But then Ruger, right? Let's see this. Boom, Big Sad back to back. This song, Big Joint, been a joint that he did with Cypress Moreno. Been a hot nigga. Hold on. Me keep going. Big Sad 1900. Boom. Right, me keep going. TZ and Big Sad 1900. Let me keep going, because it don't stop there. DW, of course, who I'm also a big fan of. Right. Big Sad 1900 Gas Gang Saint, 1900 Gang Support. You see what I'm saying? This is not, of course, plenty CML in here. Right. It's a little bit more Big Sad, just to show y'all. I really mess with Big Sad's music. I'm a Big Sad 1900 go live. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a big fan of Big Sad 1900 and his music, you know, and have been since early on in his career. So this is like out of left field, and it's unfortunate that he's involved, that there's any allegation that could happen, because this would be very damaging to your career as a rapper, for sure. You know, but he messed up, right? And I want to talk about where the brother messed up at. So, you know, he came to No Jumper. So these allegations happened. Apparently it's against dudes about the Mansfields. So the Mansfields and the Playboys been having a little problems, right? And you know, something happened apparently, I guess, where Big Sad and somebody else from his hood was riding in a car with a dude with the other person's baby mom or wife, and allegedly the Mansfield shot in the car, killed the wife while she was pregnant. So, you know, some interrogation room footage surfaced of Big Sad, right? Some interrogation room stuff, footage surfaced. And anytime you see somebody talking in an interrogation room, that visual alone, it doesn't look good. Especially if you got something to drink, some food, a cigarette. That makes it all look a lot worse. I don't remember if he had any of that, but I'm just
Yeah.
commenting, you know.
When you have those type of items.
It started looking like, what is he doing in there?
Especially with living in the internet stage that we're in.
Like, ooh.
People are quick to judge as well.
Yeah.
They're not going to look any further into anything besides what they see on that Instagram say cheese photo.
Yeah, and you know, the Bible tells us, judge not according to appearance, judge righteous judgment.
Right.
But we know that people don't follow the Bible.
Nah.
Right, the average person. So they don't care about, they are judging things based on how they look alone.
That's a fact.
Without doing any real investigation. Like you said, they see that one post on Say Cheese, that's enough.
Yeah.
Oh, he's telling, right? You know, and maybe some of the people out there ain't been in the interrogation room. You know, I would advise everybody to avoid interrogation rooms. You have a Fifth Amendment, and invoke your Fifth Amendment. The only time I've ever talked in an interrogation room, I was being accused of conspiracy to commit a hate crime after racial slurs were hurled at me, and a random person beat up the individual who was calling me, you know, this white boy who was, you know, throwing plenty N-words. And there's a viral video of me getting arrested on YouTube, 100-something thousand views. I'm getting locked up on a conspiracy to commit a hate crime. So they took me straight to the detective before they booked me. And I'm like, they're like, yeah, so you know what you did, because I'm confused as hell. That's why I'm even in this situation. So I'm like, what did I do? And then they're like, well, the video. And I'm like, oh, the video of what? So it's a live video that I posted on YouTube. It was live. And what occurred during that video was white boy came talking, we was out there teaching as we usually do. White boy came calling me the N-word several times. And he came calling me the N-word several times. And I laughed at him, right? And it was a brother on a bike who I don't know, who was listening to us teach, who was compelled to stop and listen based off of what he was hearing us talk about before the white boy walked up. He had a bandana on his face and he was on a bike. He got off the bike and beat the white boy up for that. I mean, you're a white person who is hurling racial slurs at a black person in front of other black people. You're asking to get your ass whipped publicly. And then a random dude just was walking by, seen it happen, and just kicked the white boy in the head, like, boom, yeah, fuck him. They were trying to paint the scenario that this guy, and you are the leader of the organization, so you gave the order for that assault to take place, so this is a conspiracy, right? And it's only a battery, but we're gonna put the hate crime enhancement on it to elevate it to a felony. That's how they were trying to do me. So once they had me to understand that play, I say, no, that's not what happened. I know that person. And here's what I did do. I told him the person who I did give an order to, but I told him what the order was. After that information was made known, because again, I'm the one on trial here, right? I'm the only person that was locked up for that situation. When I get locked up, somebody else gets locked up with me, but they got locked up for a warrant that they had not for that situation, right? So based on that statement that I gave to the detective, this is the only time I gave a statement on any case I've ever had. Based on that statement, he took it to the DA. When I go to court, the DA says, we're not picking this case up because we see now that this isn't what we thought it was. And really SDPD just had a hard on for me. That's all that was about. So, but anyway, that's the only time I wanted to understand what was going on, what the charges against me were, and then I clarified what happened there. And again, it was only me. I had no crime on that. That's what it was. But in my case, I got my felony for that. I had 2 crimes on. I was the last one to get locked up, and I never ever made any statements. They had already taken their deals. I admitted guilt, and got my deal, and just did my little month and a half, and left with a strike, right? And gang supervision, whatever. But I would advise people to not talk in interrogation rooms, for sure. Because it's always just gonna look bad, period. And again, people are always gonna go off appearances. Perception supersedes reality, for the majority of people, which is what it is. So this is all before we actually delve into what happened. And I'm gonna tell you where Big Sad really messed up. He accurately described the car to the police that the perpetrators were driving. And again, this what happens. I got shot right when I was 14 years old. And I got shot in front of a crowded Popeye's Chicken and barbershop. Right, it's Popeye's Chicken, and then like 2 doors down is a barbershop. On a Friday afternoon, it's cracking. There's a lot of people there, a lot of witnesses. I get shot with one of my niggas from East Coast, right? And I'm 14 years old, mind you. Again, this is important to know and to understand how the school of thought I come from, and the indoctrination as a street nigga, as a gangbanger that was put into my head.
Were you in 8th grade or were you a
8th grade? It was my last day of 8th grade.
Okay, that's crazy.
Last day of 8th grade. Oh my God, and I was tripping that day, for sure. So I get shot, I run in the barbershop, right? I runs in the barbershop. When I come out the barbershop, basically the police come, right? I realize I'm shot, because again, I don't know I'm shot. I had these black and blue dadas on. A lot of these young, you know what dadas are? Mm-hmm. The young niggas don't know. You ain't never seen Friday After Next?
Yeah.
You remember when he pulled the jersey out and he said, "Oh, a Dada. I always wanted me a Dada." You remember that scene? So Dadas were a big Dadas were a big deal in the early 2000s. Not just California, that was all over the place.
Oh, the shoes?
Yeah, Dadas was hot. But they weren't, the thing about Dadas were, they wasn't like everywhere. So if you had them, like it was damn near some exclusive shit to just have some Dadas, right? With the crown, they logo with the crown.
It's not it?
We didn't have them.
Let me see.
It's not a Memphis thing.
Yeah, no, Memphis niggas were probably wearing it 2001, 2002. It was like a more exclusive FUBU, right?
It's for youngins that don't know what this is.
For who don't know what Dadas are, right? I had the shoes though. Focus is good?
Yeah.
Okay, black and royal blue, I had the shoes. My whole outfit, I had a black and royal blue G-Unit shirt on. I had a blue rag, I was tripping. So, you know, the nigga shoot me and my nigga from East Coast. And so what happens is I come out cause I run in the barbershop, right? And I realize of course, my adrenaline is rushing because of the situation. I don't know I'm shot. I just got up and ran. So when you understand what happened, I probably would have got shot somewhere more serious if I didn't get up and run, right? Cause the bullet just cause really it seemed like he was just focusing on my brother from East Coast at the time. So that bullet, it might've been when it missed cause bro hit the floor and then could have been traveling my way because it missed. And if I wasn't up and moving, it might've hit me in a higher place in the body. But it hit me in the foot, clean right under the ball of my ankle, went right through, in and out, right? Through, out of my heel, and the bullet was in the bottom of the Dadas. So, but I don't know that at first. So I get up, run, boom, I'm in the barbershop walking around, and I'm like, damn, my foot is hot. I'm thinking I got grazed. I'm like, damn, my foot is on fire right now. I pulls my foot out of my shoe. I see a hole in my sock. I see blood. I'm like, damn, I got shot. So when they say the police is here, I walk out of the barbershop because I'm looking for the ambulance for medical attention. And it was a black sheriff. He had hit the corner with the dumbass M16 with the dumbass scope. Boom. I'm like, ooh. So I go back inside. Right now the ambulance stuff pulling up, more police is on the scene. So we come out and niggas is talking to the cops. And now mind you, these are people who just saw 2 people get shot, who are in shock, and are really just recapping it. I know that them niggas, it didn't dawn on them like they're giving information to the police. Like they're not thinking like they're snitching right now. They're just thinking like, oh my God, man, yeah, so he kind of walked up and he had this on. Now I'm 14, right? But you know, my boots been laced. So I come out and immediately start contradicting what them niggas are saying. Cause I don't want this man to be apprehended by the law. That's not how this works in this game that we playing, right? So I start contradicting, like he had on what? Nah, he had these on. I'm contradicting it, and now the police are going, right? I had enough sense to do that in that moment because I don't want them to catch this dude, right? Again, that's not how that situation is supposed to get handled. So I understand, and this doesn't justify it because the street rules don't have to be logical, don't have to make sense, and don't have to justify you. This isn't justifying what he's doing, but I have seen guys after serious situations due to the shock, not even really understand what they're doing in talking to the police. That's why the police is trying to hurry up and get to you in the first place. Start writing shit down. They're taking advantage of the shock that you're in from just seeing this, horrific situation. You just saw a pregnant woman get murdered. You just saw that, right? And then you were tasked with driving her body to the hospital. That's a horrific situation. They took advantage of you in that time. So, and then of course, you know, as a criminal, as somebody who lives in criminality, you are always in a state of nervousness when law enforcement is contacting you. You're always going to be, because you know it's something that they can use. It's something that you did that they might could have found out about that can be used against you. So I think that that's kind of where he was during that time when he said what he said, but he did accurately describe the vehicle in which, you know, the assailants were driving, which is a problem, a huge problem. So where he really messed up in his justification tour was going on no jumper and being misleading about the vehicle he was describing in the clip in question. He tried to pawn off to Bricc Baby and DW Flame that he was describing the vehicle that he was driving in, not the vehicle the shooters were driving in. But when you just go watch the clip back, you see he's clearly identifying the vehicle in which the shooters were driving in, right? Now, he painted that narrative on purpose to try to justify himself, and I want to bring this scripture. Proverbs 12:19. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. So you created that lie to justify you in that moment, and it was enough because they were trying to shoot you to bail because they like you or whatever in that moment. It did get you off for a moment, but it wasn't established forever because within 48 hours of you saying that, now it came out to the world that that was untrue. Now you're a liar. Now your credibility is entirely damaged. So now you definitely look like you were doing something you weren't supposed to do. You were snitching. You were giving up information because you went out of your way to cultivate a lie in order to make it look like you didn't do what you in fact did. So you must know that the description of the vehicle that you gave was the wrong thing to do, right? That's why honesty was the best policy. You could have easily said, hey man, you know, I was boom, 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 and I did, you know, I tried to give a vague description. You know, I maybe said too much in that instance, but hey, I didn't take the stand and tell them, or you know, you had a lot of great points. I saw who shot me. I never said that though, right? You could have emphasized all of those points. It was just like when the situation with Freaky Zeke occurred. You know, this on the East Coast. Dipset and people were accusing him of snitching, and he admits that, hey, yeah, I took the stand and I said the guy in the green jacket shot me. They then went to the footage and identified the guy in the green jacket as the person who was on trial. You just snitched. That's what you did, right? You don't have to say anything. Like somebody said about Cowboy from Rolling 60s. You know, Rimpaw was there when, you know, Nipsey Hussle was killed. Rimpaw didn't take the stand. They tried to get him, they tried to subpoena him, all those things, but he didn't take the stand. That's just what you're not supposed to do that. It doesn't matter. That's why Cowboy has no justification. You know, so he definitely did the wrong thing, and he only made it worse by lying in that instance, and he thought he made it better, but his tongue was only established for a moment. The truth shall be established forever, and just tell the truth, right? A well-placed truth is better than any lie could ever be. This also, Proverbs 19, I want to do Proverbs 19 and 9. Let's read, what version I want to read in? Let's read NLT. A false witness will not go unpunished, and a liar will be destroyed. You see what I'm saying? You set yourself up for destruction in that, you know? You're a rising rap star, and I think honesty would have been your best policy in that situation, and really just getting people to understand, hey, this happened, I was a little shook up, I did give a vague description of the vehicle. I do retrospectively realize that might have been too much. I probably shouldn't have did that, but you know, hey, I didn't take the stand on nobody. I didn't identify nobody I knew. You see what I'm saying? A lot of what you said was good, but through the lie of that, it discredits everything, man, and that's why the truth is so important. It's so important to tell the truth. So you should have went up there and either told the truth or ignored this stuff all out totally and keep doing what you're doing. And then, you know, if people would have seen you, you know, still going and still, you know, with the homies, you know, people might have let this die. You know, because I've seen different type of allegations like this come out against different people and them not really thoroughly debunk it and, you know, the things kind of just go away. Maybe that would have been the best approach to the situation. I don't know, but through his lie, it really is making him look bad, and now people are really raising their eyebrows at, damn, so is he a snitch? You know, I definitely think, you know, that the individuals, you know, scriptures teach you to be weary of people's motives. So I definitely think that some of these motivations are questionable by a lot of the individuals who are really trying to put that snitch jacket up on Big Sad. But you didn't do yourself any favors through lying on that situation at all.
Jeez.
At all.